Hello, this is Aaron Claiborne with Wisconsin Voices for Recovery. And today I have Victor here with me to share his experience about stigma. How you doing today, Victor?
Doing good, Aaron.
That's good. That's good. Now I'd like to ask you, um, what are some of the damaging effects of stigma that you've experienced?
Well, most of it was being in the community. Like for me, Native American community um, is pretty is smaller, so people will know you for a long period of time, and the things that you've done, the shame that you've caused, the guilt that you've had to live with some of the things that you've done, and they'll hold that. People will hold that on you, and one of the things that I've been trying to do since early in my recovery that I just got in finally after 7 years was I was trying to go into the jail and help, and after about 18 months, that's when I started that. I was like, okay, I've been clean for 18 months, you know what I mean? I want to give back. And they just kept denying me and saying that, you know, um, there was other people out there that we were looking for,
Wow.
and and that sucked because I knew, like, for a fact that I would be able to hit home with a lot of people that have been incarcerated, because they, like, people that are cut from the same cloth can understand a lot better from people that are speaking, because they know, people will know, so it was like that stigma right there was stopping some of the ripple effects that I wanted to create in my recovery path, and if it took 7 years, but tomorrow is my interview for the jail, and I'm finally getting in there. So it's for like that 5 years, you know what I mean? I could have been doing a lot of good work with that county jail, and
Yeah.
it really sucks that, there's them barriers for us that we have to knock down. I'd have to say another one would be a lot of people that are in power. You know, if I've
Yeah.
hurt somebody's family member, or if there tends to be a lot of grudges that will be held against you. Or even if people don't even know you and they just heard about you and
Yeah.
know you're a drug addict,
Yeah.
they're like, nah, I don't want to hire this guy. Um, we're gonna find someplace else. And housing was huge with that. Like trying to find a place to live.
Oh yeah.
Well, you're a drug dealer or was a drug dealer. You know what I mean? And you got that on your record. It's landlords do not want to mess with you. And then you become homeless, and it's so easy for a lot of people to reach that barrier of like, oh, I got 180 days clean, I'm getting out, and now I need to get a job. Oh, I got a job, now I need to get someplace to live. And then you hit that wall. And
Yeah.
that's where I see a lot of people, with the people that I work with now, that's where I see a lot of people fall, is because they can't build themselves that foundation that they need for. And that's some of the stigma that I've encountered in my path, and some of the stigmas that I see that with some of the clients that I work with too. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Definitely. It's real. It's real. All right. Now I'd like to ask you, does stigma make you feel discriminated against?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. With employment and with housing again, it's very hard in the first place to get clean, you know, because you're battling with yourself. And then when you throw the world on top of that, and their judgments, and
Oh yeah.
they're shaking the finger at you,
Oh
you
yeah.
know, it could be very defeating in a path where, like, every small victory counts. You know what I mean? And every defeat hurts. and it's vital to the beginning of your recovery. I remember looking for a place to live, and I couldn't find a place to live. I couldn't find. I had the money. I was clean for a while, but it was being a felon with drug charges on my record, and people just being like, "Oh, look, yeah, you got the money. You know what I mean? That's great. You've been working for this time, but you're not really the person that we're looking for that will fit into the apartment complex that I own, and that's it's very, very difficult for drug addicts and felons to make it in this world, and the discrimination and the shame, once you do the time and pay for the crime, you know what I mean, that's not the end of it. It's not the end of it at all. When you get back out, it's only the beginning too, because then you have to deal with the community and what the community thinks of you. And you could like minorities, we get sentenced very harshly compared to, you know what I mean, the rest of the world, you know what I mean? So we're doing, sentences that are longer, paying harder just to get out and, not have that opportunity if I wasn't a minority.
Yeah. It definitely runs deep, man. I get it, man. It's you pay twice for the same crime, and that stigma always follows you, man. No matter what you've done to make improvements, I totally get that, man. I appreciate that. Um, Thank you for taking the time to share with us today. I want to ask you: is there anything you have to share that you'd like to share with our audience in this last 30 seconds we have?
A couple of my favorite words are resilience and relentlessness, and I live by that. And I've been defeated many times, but never let stigma stop you, because it will only give you strength, and you will find your way throughout this world.
No doubt, definitely. Um, I really appreciate what you had to say today, Victor. Some good stuff, deep stuff, and some real talk, man. So I really appreciate you being here.
Okay.
Um, Thanks again. Like I said, everybody in our audience, please check back for more stigma interviews. We appreciate your time and have a great rest of your day.